students, we have completed the general characteristics of phylum Mollusca. Now we will move on to the different classes under Mollusca. Mollusca has 7 different classes. We are going to deal with 6 of them. In this lecture we will deal with 3. In the next lecture we will cover the other 3. Let us start with the first class. Class Gastropoda. Gastro means stomach. Poda means legs. This phylum has their poda or feet under their stomach. Okay, that's why they are called as gastropoda. This class includes the typical mollusks like snails, slugs. This is the largest class under phylum Mollusca. They have a single shell. The shell may be coiled. In this class, during development, the body undergoes a so-called torsion. Okay, because of the coiling of the shell, the body undergoes a torsion. Torsion means the movement of the body 180 degrees. Okay, because of which the timidia and the anus, which is supposed to face at the posterior end, now starts pointing towards the anterior end. During development, body undergoes torsion. Torsion is 180 degrees turning. The shell coiling can be either right-handed coil or it can be left-handed coil. The coiling of the shell can be either right-handed or left-handed. Right-handed coiling is more frequent. Left-handed coiling is less frequent. This is a dominant trait and it is more common. And the left-handed coiling is recessive genetic trait and it is rare. They do locomotion by their muscular foot. The head bears sensory tentacles, eyes. Okay, radula is present in them, the rasping organ radula. These are mostly herbivorous grazing animals. The most common example is Pila, which is called the apple snail. It's a freshwater snail. It is amphibious in nature, means it requires water plus land. It shows the property of aestivation. Aestivation means summer sleep. Okay, it undergoes hibernation in summer. Next example, Helix, the common garden snail or land snail. This one is terrestrial. In Aplysia, the shell is reduced. This one is marine. So this is class Gastropoda. They are commonly called as gastropods and this is the most common class. Let's move on to the next class, that is class Bivalvia. Bi means two, valvia means valves. This is the class of the clams and the mussels which have 2 lateral valves which are attached at the hinge, and the soft-bodied animal, the mollusk, will be inside. Both these valves provide it with a lot of protection. They are all aquatic in nature. Even the pearl oysters and all belong to class Bivalvia. Comprise of 2 lateral valves, which means the shell joined by a hinge. All aquatic. Gills are large and perform function of respiration plus something called as filter feeding. What is that filter feeding? These gills, which are feathery kind of, they will take up water and the water will bring with it oxygen which the gills will take up, and also because of the feathery nature of these gills or ctenidia that they have, they will trap the food particles in them which will be filtered out, okay, and the mollusk will then feed on them. That's called filter feeding. Okay, and because they perform filter feeding, they do not have radula. They do not have a head even, okay, head is absent in them. Head is absent. As such, radula is also absent since they filter feed. Many of these forms are stationary forms and they will attach to the rocks using special type of threads which are called as byssus threads. The byssus threads will help them in attachment to the rocks. Many forms are sedentary, attached to rocks, byssus threads, which are specialized threads which they secrete from their body for attachment. An important example of this is the clams, the common clams, tisaria in Marathi, which you eat and they're very tasty, very delicious. 2 valves are open like that and we eat the meat from inside. That is called unio clams. These are the freshwater mussels. They have a special gland for excretion. For excretion, the mollusks have metanephridia, 1 pair. Now this unio, in addition to the metanephridia, they have one more specialized gland close to the heart, okay, which is called as the Keber's gland. Okay, this is important. Have an additional excretory gland which is called as the Caber's gland. This Caber's gland is also called as the pericardial gland because it is around the heart. Pericardial gland, excretory gland. Second important example of bivalve is pink tada pearl oyster. You know what happens with the pearl oyster, right? What happens? A scent particle enters into the mental cavity and the mantle of this bivalve will then secrete something called as nacre around it. Scent particle enters mental cavity, mental secretes something called nacre. What is nacre? If you have ever opened a bivalve in this manner, you may have noticed that the underside of these shells, they have a very nice silvery kind of a luster, a silvery kind of a sheen, is because of the secretion of this nacre. What is this nacre? It's a mixture of the calcium carbonate along with some protein. Calcium carbonate plus some protein. So around this scent particle, it will secrete the nacre in such a manner that this will then eventually result in the formation of the pearl. Nacre, formation of pearl. This is how the pearl is formed. So that is about the second class Bivalvia. Okay, let us move on to the third class now, class Cephalopoda. Cephalo means head or brain, and poda means legs. These organisms have their legs on their head, okay, like how an octopus does, okay, or like how a squid has. They have their legs on their head, okay, Cephalopoda. This is the most advanced class of mollusca. Most advanced class of mollusca with highly developed brain and eyes. These animals can be trained as well. Did you know that? Legs modified into arms and tentacles around head. These animals are exclusively marine. Shell is very reduced or absent altogether. For example, the octopus does not have a shell at all. These organisms are known to have a closed circulatory system. In general, the molluscans are known to have an open circulatory system with the presence of the hemocoel and all. But these organisms have a closed circulatory system. So you can say that they are more highly evolved mollusks. Octopus, then sepia, squid or loligo, all these three organisms have presence of something called ink glands. They will have certain glands which will produce a dark colored ink. They will produce a cloud of ink in front of their predator or prey, and they will take that opportunity to either attack the prey or escape away from the predator. So ink glands produce ink. These three organisms are also known to have presence of chromatophores, which will help them in camouflage for changing colors. They are also known to have presence of suckers on arms and tentacles. These are round muscular disc-like structures onto their arms for firm grip hold, okay, of the prey. For firm grip on prey. So these three features are present in octopus, sepia and loligo. Example, sepia, which is called as the cuttlefish. This one has an internal bone. The internal bone is called as the cuttle bone. Next example, loligo, the squid, calamari. This one also has an internal bone. Its bone is called as pen, also called as gladius. Gladius means a sword because it's shaped like a sword or a pen. Maybe that's why it is named so. Third example, octopus, which is also called as the devilfish. In octopus, the shell is absent. Next example is nautilus. Nautilus has about 60 to 90 tentacles and it has a well-developed external shell. However, it lacks the ink glands, chromatophores, etc. These are the examples. And with that, we have completed with class Cephalopoda. In the next lecture, we will cover the other three classes of phylum Mollusca.
In the name of Lord Mahadev, please subscribe.